Check this out.
Welcome to BLPA Big Show. Hockey sports, life for the adult athletes. Yeah. Powered by the Beer League Players Association.
Better follow me.
Follow us, the BLPA, on every social media outlet. Follow the crew on Twitter at Nicker Jones.
Let's get it. Here we go.
Welcome to the greatest sports show in the world. Good week, everybody. How you doing? I'm here with my buddy Jason. Jason, what's going on?
What's up, Nick?
Not much. Just hanging at home in Calgary, not doing any tournaments. Feels weird not being on the road, but here I am, a couple weeks in a row, feeling good. My kid's liking it.
Yeah, it's got to be good for you to be home for a little bit. I heard you're single parenting this week. Is that right?
Yeah, my wife left me. Not forever. Not forever. Just she went to Vegas to go shopping and left me with the kid, the dog, her grandmother. So, how dare her, for one, leave me like that.
The audacity.
I mean, I get it. I go a lot of places, so she should get to go. But when I go, I'm not going for funsies. I'm going, for the betterment of all humankind. Well, at least if those humankinds play beer league sports. So that's my duty. My duty to go.
Right.
Not a hey, I'm going to go have funsies. Although it is fun. But it's not. The main goal isn't funsies. But yeah, so I'm literally I'm watching the Flames game and the Blackhawks game right now. I don't know how the Flames are tied with the Blackhawks. Go figure after the start they've had. But I'm also watching my son on the baby monitor, and he's been in bed for an hour and a half, and he's still just fucking off around there. Like, hey, I don't have to go to school tomorrow, so I'm just gonna fuck off in my bed,
I'm also watching the Flames and the Hawks game, but it's because I was money lining. But the money lining I was doing was parlayed with the Oilers, and they let me down tonight.
Wait,
so,
the Oilers lost?
Yeah, they're losing badly. It's 4-1 with less than 10 minutes left.
Well, this is a fucking good night, then, boys. Here we go. I wouldn't even care. Like if I was money lining and the Oilers lost, even by one goal, I would still be. It would be money lining for me. But hey, before we get too far into this, you can follow us at the BLPA, every social media outlet. See our new website, blpa.com. You can find me, Nicker Jones, on Twitter, the Nicker Jones on Instagram, and you can find Jason at Beer League Jason over on Twitter. And this show brought to you by HockeyWolf.com. Ow, 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 ow.
Ow, ow, ow.
All right, listen, I say it every week. I'm going to continue to say it because they're huge supporters of our show. They're supporters of what we're doing. And if you support what we're doing, you should support people that support us. HockeyWolf.com is a pro shop. They have physical brick and mortar stores in the Northwest, Seattle, Montana. But they have a very big online presence. And if you need team orders of anything, if you need jerseys, if you need gear, go check them out. They'll hook you up. They even have BLPA merch that we don't have. But now, guess what? Got them. Now I've got BLPA merch that they don't have. We'll talk about that in a second. But go check out HockeyWolf.com. Ow, 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 ow.
Ow, ow, ow.
So a lot of things on the docket today. Of course, I just gave a little teaser because I'm a professional and I know how to segue into things. And that was the merchandise that we just dropped today. Badass. But we're going to talk about the merch. We're going to talk about tournaments. We're going to talk about the 10 Commandments of Beer League Hockey. We're going to talk about surprise Thanksgiving because we're beer leaguers and we like to eat. We're going to talk about those kind of foods, those foods that Jason's about to have. And I am not going to, although I'm going to have a Thanksgiving dinner. It's just made by a restaurant up here. And we can talk about other things. Like we can talk about stupid ass New Jersey jerseys. And and yeah, other than that, and I do have an admission. Listen, I'm not a perfect person. I don't always do what I'm supposed to do. I'm not perfect. It's not the way I'm built, But last week at the end, I teased something that I'm working on, and that is some goalie stuff that I'm working on. And I didn't get it done. And I didn't get it done. Like I could half-ass it, and I could throw you out some half-ass shit on this podcast. But that wouldn't make it the greatest sports show in the world. And two, I don't want those fucks from GGSU, Goalie Gear Simps, or whatever they're called. I don't want them coming at me because I gave some bad intel and telling me that they're going to end my beer league career. So I'm going to take another week. I'm going to finalize. I'm going to get it tight, and then I'm going to come back and get them with some goalie stuff on you. Okay. Just didn't want you to, I know you were probably waiting with bated breath for it, but I don't have it this week. I don't have it.
That's right. We'd rather have it, it's like the measure twice, cut once rule, right? Same thing. Let's make sure we get it right.
Hey, listen, if there's one thing that we are on this show, it's solid. And we want to have all of our stuff solid. So we'll get to that hopefully next week. Hopefully I'll have some time. I mean, I've been doing a lot of work. A lot of new merch came out today. I don't know if you saw that Hockey Freak shirt, but I'm digging it, bud.
Yeah, man. I was checking out the website today. I got an email that was telling me, I could win an Iceland tournament. Now, I've already paid for Iceland, but it still piqued my interest. So I was clicking around on there, and there's some really good stuff on there, man.
Yeah. Thanks for saying that. I mean, I've been working really hard at it. Randy's been working really hard at it. But yeah, the Iceland thing, like we have a new shirt out called BLPA Every Day. And if you buy that shirt, I don't even remember what date, like I guess it's through the week or so, you get entered to win. Oh, it's December 31st actually, or November 31st. You get entered to win a free entry into the Iceland draft experience. We have one more left. And we're using it to give away because that's what we like to do. We like to give stuff away. And so all you got to do is buy a shirt to be entered. And if you win, you win. And you can't use it in any other tournament. Don't try to fucking sandbag us here and say, oh, I won the Iceland one, but I couldn't go. Well, listen, we're giving away the Iceland one. We're not giving away the other ones yet. So.
Yeah. And if you, don't want the shirt, I'm a size large, just send it to me and maybe you'll still win your Iceland entry. So.
Exactly. Every shirt you win. So if you want to buy all the boys shirts for Christmas, that would be a good, cool thing to do. To buy shirts for the team. I mean, you can do that. And, if you have 15 guys or 10 guys, that's how many entries you get. So, get on it. Go just BLPA.com and check the merch, or I don't know if it says merch or shop up there, but look for BLPA Every Day and you could be a winner. The Hockey Freak shirt's cool. I got some Sherpas coming. You know what a Sherpa is?
I don't.
Me neither. But it's like it's like a quarter zip, like a fuzzy shirt. I don't know, like it says Sherpa shirt, and I'm working on those. Working on some toques, aka beanies, because we're going to be doing some cold weather playing. And so lots of things coming on. We got the Philly theme was released, and that it's badass, Rocky theme, because Philly's where Rocky's from, the Italian stallion.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I saw the first jersey. I dig it.
Did you see the Drago one or did you see the Creed one?
Creed.
Yeah, isn't that wild? Like it's like it's horrible, but it's horribly awesome.
Yeah, horrible in a good way.
Yeah,
horribly American.
Horribly American for sure. Like, listen, if you're American, you got to come to this tournament, and if you don't, you're probably not American. Sorry.
Probably not. Yeah.
Move to China. That should be the next Rocky. Like they did like Russia, like with Drago and Rocky 4, maybe like Rocky 17. Yep. He'll the Italian stallion will come out of retirement at 107 years old, and there'll just be a Chinese dude he's a boxing phenom, and Rocky comes out, but he comes out right-handed again, boom, 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 and then he's getting beat up, and then I don't know who would say it. I guess like Rocky would have a flashback to like Mick saying, "No, Rock, no!" And then he'll switch southpaw, and then he'll just beat the hell out of the Chinese guy. And then all of a sudden, just like how Rocky 4 decided the fate of the Cold War, Rocky 17 will decide the fate of whatever we're calling this war between us and China. That's not actually a war, but it is a war. Not to get political.
I feel like you just wrote the movie in like 30 seconds, which is pretty impressive.
I have talent. I have skills. A lot of people don't recognize them because I don't brag. I'm pretty humble about it. I don't always talk about it. But that I do possess skills to do that stuff. So Hollywood, I'll be in SoCal in a couple weeks. So if you guys want to have a meeting, just, give me a shout. You can hit me up at the BLPA. Just ask for Nikki Commish, and we can get that meeting set up. And we can get this show on the road. That would be a good movie though, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like
the Chinese guy would say he wants to fight the best boxer in U.S. history, and people are like, well, I mean, listen, boxing isn't really a big thing right now. It's UFC, and so you're going to have to UFC somebody. And then the guy would be like, no, I'm not going to UFC. I just like to stand in the middle of the ring and pound people. And, and then what would happen is then Rocky, he would see it on TV. He's at home. He still has that little robot that they had and like that his son had in like Rocky 2 or 3 or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And that robot like comes out and says, Rock, never forget, in a robot voice. And then that just brings back the flood of memories. There he's driving that Ferrari or Lambo, and No Easy Way Out comes on. He starts thinking about Apollo Creed getting killed by, Ivan Drago. He thinks about Tommy Gunn. He thinks about training Apollo Creed's kid. And then he's like, I have to fight this boxer from China. And then that's the story.
And then there's the montage of him like running around in sweatpants or something, right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. There's going to be sweatpants. He'll have a Sherpa on as well. And, I think that would be pretty good. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen like in between, like that's stuff that I just have to think about, but, like there's always questions about, does China own Taiwan? Maybe that's where what happens. Like if the Chinese person wins, then the U.S. has to, say, hey, China, you own, Taiwan. I think I have my political stuff right there. I'll do some research just to make sure. But I think that could make the story more heavy, more believable, more enjoyable. And then boom, there it is. Rocky 17 on to 18.
We're ready. Let's go.
How did we just do 15 minutes on Rocky 17? I kind of lost my point. Oh, because we're going to Philly. We have the jerseys. I can't wait to. I'm supposed to get 2 more of the jerseys tonight, so I'm super stoked to see what those are. One jersey I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag just because I think it's hilarious. Thunderlips. Do you know who Thunderlips is?
No idea.
Yeah. So Rocky did a charity, boxing wrestling match, and I believe it was Rocky 3. I believe it could have been Rocky 2, but I'm pretty sure it was Rocky 3. And guess who Thunderlips is? He's like the consummate ladies' man. It's Hulk Hogan as Thunderlips.
Oh, I do remember that now.
Yeah,
now that you mentioned it.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of old Val Venus from WWF or WWE. Yeah. Consummate ladies, man. Consummate. Yep. So that's going to be awesome. Iceland, obviously, going to be incredible. I have a weird fact about Iceland. I'd like to find weird facts about Iceland every week until we go to this tournament. I mean, because you told me in a text message. I don't know if you want to share what you said you're going to be doing in about a month.
Oh yeah, like right at a month now. So we're going to get there a little early, and we rented like these cabins that are out in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like all glass cabins, right? So like the whole thing is glass, and there's a bunch of them, but they're like spread out, right? So you can't see each other because like they're all glass cabins. So I said in a month I was going to have my junk just pushed all the way against a glass panel in one of those cabins for sure. Like whoever has to clean that cabin when I'm done, I'm sorry.
Hey,
yeah, I apologize now.
Like, do you think you could see the other cabin if you had binoculars?
I might bring some just to see because my buddy Frankie's staying in the other one, so I might just see if I can bring some binoculars and check out what he's got going on over in his cabin.
Yeah, or a telescope. But what would be better is if you gave him and be like, hey Frank, just let's see if we can see each other. And then you have a certain time, and then he looks into the glass, and it's just your junk pressed up against the glass.
Just
got him.
Full press.
Just full press. Put him on the glass, baby. Put him on the glass. That was a pretty good music video back by Sir Mix-a-Lot. That was back, when I had that channel, but it was at late at night because I believe they did show full booby at that point, and it was a little blurred.
Yeah.
And so as soon as I was able to get the internet, and that was like the first, I was like, I got to check out, put him on the glass, because I saw that when I was a little kid and it was all blurry. And there it was, boobies,
Yeah.
Internet, what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive.
Yeah, some things never change as a man. Like, you just, as a young boy, you want to see the boobies. As an adult, you want to see the boobies. So.
And it's not nothing disrespectful about it. that's just the way we were wired, and so, we know our place, but if it's on the internet, who am I to not look at it?
It's out there.
That's what the internet
was.
Exactly. That's what the internet was made for, to let people, discover things. And if it's on there, you should discover it. So, all right. So here's
totally agree.
Here's my first weird fact about Iceland. My first weird fact. We're going to Iceland, January 26th through 28th. And actually, I want to let something else out of the bag too. It sounds like we're going to have like a beer league reality series, starting with Iceland, where someone's going to follow me from Calgary all around Iceland and capture not only my journey, but the journeys of many others through this thing. So I'm super stoked about that. That'll be a little YouTube mini series. So, follow us on YouTube, youtube.com /the BLPA. Every social media outlet you can find, it's the BLPA, even on Pinterest. So here's the weird fact about Iceland. Did you know in Iceland, there's an app to prevent dating your cousin?
I did not know this.
There is, because
but I'm interested in hearing more.
Yeah, well, Iceland's population so small that there's a slight issue with everyone being related. So this can be a problem in the local dating scene. So there's a smartphone app called I don't know, Icelanding, ISLENDINGG, double G on it, -app that lets Icelanders check if they're related or not. The company's slogan: bump the app before you bump in bed. So, listen, that's incredible, right? I mean, okay, so are we going to be so in demand now because I don't think we're going to be related to anybody in Iceland.
No, I don't think so.
So like if we get on the app, just for shits and gigs, right? Get on the app, are people going to be like, oh yeah, fresh meat here. No cousins in Iceland at all. Here they are. Like that's what I'll write. If I'll go on and my profile will be like, I'm not related to anyone in Iceland. And I bet, boom, this thing will blow up.
I mean, what could go wrong?
Well, I mean, this is research. Like I'm not gonna do anything. I'm interested in things like that. Yeah, apps, right? Like it's
purely academic.
Yeah, science. I'm a scientist. But I mean, so what do you do? Like you go to a bar and like you're just like, there's a hottie. I'm gonna buy her a beer, see what's going, or whatever they sell in Iceland. I'm gonna buy her one of these fermented shark meat plates and dig it up. It's been in the ground for 14 days. Dig it up. Let's go. And hey, babe, fresh fermented shark over for you from the guy across the bar. And she comes over. Or no, I guess I would come over, right? That's the gentlemanly thing to do. She eats it. So we make eye contact across the bar. She gives me a little smile and looks away. And I'm like, okay, that's my sign. I think that's how dating still works, right? And so then I walk across and we get to chat it up and we got chemistry. And I'm thinking, well, party time. We're at a bar. I bought our fermented shark. We've both been drinking. We're both feeling it. We're dancing a little bit on the dance floor. We're, all the signals are there. We're touching. It could be a good night. And then I just pull out my app and we bump phones together to make sure we're not related. Maybe that's how it works.
Yeah, and then go time. I mean, after that. It says, not for you.
Yeah, no.
In a normal general, scenario, it would be go time.
I mean, this is all hypothetical, of course. But bump the app. So I guess you're bumping each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're bumping. But I guess the question for me is, how many people bump the app, find out they're cousins, and they're still like, well, we're already here. So.
We've already gone this far. We might as well finish it.
Yeah. I mean, we're second cousins, babe. Like, what's the big deal? Jerry Lee Lewis over in the States. Okay, we got to hold on 1 second. I just got to run downstairs and let my dog out. I'm the only one here. Hold on. All right, I'm back.
Alrighty.
Sorry, dog. All right, so back into let's see where we're at. We were at the Iceland app. So anyway, so there's a app for dating your cousin or banging your cousin in Iceland, or not banging your cousin, whichever way you want to go with it.
Yeah, I guess really it's to find out if they are, and then whether you bang or not is really up to you two at that point.
This is a judgment-free zone. So whatever you want to do.
Yeah, we don't kink shame.
Nope. As long as you're happy, then we're happy. You know.
Turn it up.
Be a beauty. Listen, subscribe, rate, and review. Let's get it.
All right. So now that we got the Iceland thing out of the way, let's talk about Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving in a couple days. Happy Thanksgiving to you, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, first, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Like when I was a kid?
Yeah.
I mean, probably for the majority of my life. Are we talking about like something that's obtainable? Like, because as a kid, like I think you usually had two different types of like when I want to grow up. One is like I want to be a professional athlete or something like that, and then the other one's like an actual real job type thing, right? So I grew up. My dad was a big wrestling fan, so I watched wrestling a lot. Like I wanted to be a wrestler, right? Like I thought that was like the coolest job ever. But then when I got a little bit older, I really liked building things. So I wanted to be an architect. Like I thought being an architect would be a super, super fun and cool job as well. Interesting. And did you become either of those? I did not. I did not at all. Yeah, it's funny. When I was a young kid, I wanted to be a couple things. I wanted to be obviously a professional athlete, which I am. So I did get that one. But I wanted to be a doctor, and I wanted to be a radio host, which I guess I kind of am that, I guess, with this podcast, right? But I was just thinking about it, like, because obviously I have a 4-year-old kid, and he's growing up. Like we just got school pictures, and he looks like a little man, and so I'm just like, hey, buddy, like, what do you want to do when you get older? And he's just like, shit, I don't know. He doesn't say shit, but he's like, shit, I don't know. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? Like, there's nothing you want to be? And he's like, I want to play Roblox when I'm older. And I'm like, okay. And it just made me think of like what I wanted to be when I was little. And we're doing this podcast, and I thought, man, if I became a radio host, do you know how exhausting it would be to like come up with like a radio show like every day? Like sports radio guys, like I listen to those guys, and I think I could do it, and I think I'd be okay because I guess it would be like my full-time job. So I'd be constantly like researching things, but it's just like we do this podcast once a week, and there's probably not like, we don't have like, we don't have a problem finding topics, but I'm just like, if we did it like every single day, it would be exhausting, just exhausting. Yeah, no, I totally agree. So I also listen to sports radio. And I feel like sometimes even I can sense when they're at that point, whether there's like, man, I have talked about everything in sports this week, and it's now Thursday, and I just have to talk about the same things that I've been talking about all week. So I agree. Like, I think being a sports radio person is a lot harder than people think it is. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just like, oh, you just talk about sports. But man, like you said, like we come up with topics, but even for us on a weekly basis, sometimes we're like, I don't know, let's, brainstorm on something to talk about. I can't imagine having to do it every single day, and especially if you're hosting like a 4 or 5 hour radio show where you talk for that long about sports. It would get tough. Howard Stern had it pretty easy because all he did was he's like, well, listen, if I don't have a topic, I'll just get some chick to take her clothes off, and it worked. Right. Yeah. But they can't do that on sports radio. And like I was listening today, and it's just like fully like how can you talk, about the Flames this much? Like I get there, it's just like, oh, Monahan's having a bad season. And then it's like 20 minutes of just Monahan stuff. And I'm like, how do you stay sane? Like no one wants to talk about Sean Monahan. Like you've done it every day this week, and it's not like it's not exciting, right? So I was just thinking, man, like if I would have became a radio host, like would I have been able to come up with that many topics? That's just a random. This is kind of the random thought episode where we just kind of talk about whatever pops into our head, Sherpas, banging cousins, and now talk show radio. But so I did put something in the group the other day about what your favorite Thanksgiving side was, and since it is Thanksgiving, I think that's a great topic to talk about. And what's your favorite Thanksgiving side? Man, that's a tough one. So I'd like to preface this with, I think there's a lot of people who judge too harshly on what people like to eat for Thanksgiving. So I want to be the first to say, like, eat whatever the fuck you want for Thanksgiving. Like, if that's what you like as a side or a main dish, or if you like tacos for Thanksgiving, like, make the best fucking tacos you can make and have a good one. So no judgment from me on what other people eat.
No.
At Thanksgiving, because I think you should be able to do whatever you want. But I am big on like casseroles, but like specifically anything with potatoes and cheese in them. So like my wife's mom makes like these cheesy potato casserole things. That's just it's kind of like if you've ever eaten at Cracker Barrel, the hash brown casserole that they have. It's like almost the same thing. So
listen, I can't stand Cracker Barrel. I can't stand it.
Okay.
So I'm turned off by it now. I'm now turned off by your whole. I was on board casserole chat, and then you mentioned Cracker Barrel, and I'm out. And the only reason why is because it has nothing to do with the food. Okay, the food is fine. Like it's not nothing to write home about. Their chicken and dumplings are incredible. But when I was a kid, we'd go there like once, twice, sometimes 3 times a week, and we'd have dinner. But then as a kid, like you want to go home and play, but I couldn't go home and play. You know why? Because my mom and my grandmother would stay in that fucking gift shop for what seemed like fucking hours, man. Like they would just, and I always was like, and I was like 8, 9, 10, whatever. I always thought like, what the fuck are they doing? And like, we've been here 3 times this week. They have it like, they got the same shit and they were just in there, and my dad wouldn't say anything. My grandpa wouldn't say anything. You know what they do? They'd walk their asses out to the fucking porch and sit in a fucking rocking chair. And here I'm like, say something. And they're like, nope, we're not saying anything. And it's just like, fuck. Like, so I just I have a hate on for Cracker Barrel. It's lightened up a little bit. And the only reason why is because they allow RVs to sleep in the parking lots for free. So I do like that. But
So the fact that you ate at Cracker Barrel 3 times a week and that your parents and grandparents spent hours in the gift shop is the most Oklahoma shit I've ever heard about.
But listen,
that's on brand.
They did have those like candy cane sticks in Cracker Barrel in that gift shop. With like they have like a billion different flavors. They have a billion different flavors. All billion flavors taste the same, but that flavor is damn good. But so that was pretty cool about Cracker Barrel, but that still couldn't overcome the like, fuck, like we've been here for 3 hours. Like, let's go home. I want to play some Super Mario Bros. Mario Brothers 3. I just got it. Let's go.
Yeah, no, I get that. But at the same time, back to my original point, anytime you make a casserole that has cheese and potatoes in it, I'm 100% on board.
I guess I like casserole, but it's not something that people just make here. Like I mean, what makes a casserole a casserole?
I think it's just as long as you mix shit together, it becomes a casserole.
But okay, that's every, like I have sushi and it has all different types of fish and I dip it in like soy sauce. So I have like sushi casserole.
Yeah. A fish casserole, yeah. I mean, it's the same thing that people call things salad, right? Potato salad, pasta salad.
Macaroni salad,
Macaroni salad. It's not really salad, but they just mix a bunch of shit together and
by definition, wouldn't that then be a casserole?
Yeah, I think you could. I think you could call it macaroni casserole. And at 100%.
Casserole, do you think you probably have to like bake it, right?
That's probably the difference is that I think most salads are cold. Mm-hmm. And most casseroles are hot. God, so maybe that is the difference.
Yeah, we have figured. Listen, we're probably 2 of the smartest dudes in the world, and we just solved this. My mother-in-law does make this thing. I call it "sounds like shit," which is basically it's like spiral pasta and like cheese and meat, and she calls it cheese bake. But the first time like I was in Canada, she like my wife was like, "Hey, my mom's making dinner." I'm like, "Oh, what's she making?" And she explained it, and I said, "Oh, that sounds like shit." And it actually was really damn good, but now we just call it "sounds like shit." So yeah, I mean, when I asked the question in, I guess I got a bunch of, I guess the most popular one that we got is stuffing. Stuffing was
can't go wrong there. All the carbs.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with stuff. A lot of people were into cranberries. I don't like cranberries. So I think like
not a big cranberry guy.
Like when they open that fucking can of cranberries and plop that tube of cranberry that just fucking it just jiggles and you're just like ugh, 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 like get that out of here, get that jiggly jiggly looking tampon thing out of here. That's what it looks like to me. So I don't eat that. If you enjoyed cranberries before I described the can of cranberries as a jiggly used tampon, I'm sorry, but you probably aren't going to eat them now. And so there's a lot. Like I don't really have a hey, I'm just looking at it. Green bean casserole on the list for best Thanksgiving side. So Kevin Mitchell, wherever you're at, you and Jason would be BFFs. So I think there's a lot of different stuff. Like I don't know what I'm exactly getting in my Thanksgiving dinner, because what I do is there's a place called Hayden Block, and it's actually a whiskey bar, and every year for the past 4 or 5 years, I've ordered Thanksgiving. Here it is. I just pulled it up. So here's what they have. They have smoked turkey, sweet potato marshmallow, green beans. Mashed potatoes with gravy, homemade stuffing, cranberry barbecue sauce, which I don't really use much of because, the whole, you use tampon thing, and pumpkin pie. That's the annual.
I dig it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the annual American Thanksgiving dinner for $40.
Yeah, and I forgot about sweet potatoes. I do love me some sweet potatoes, specifically my mom, because everyone makes them a little different, so they're not always as good. But my mom's sweet potatoes are to die for sure.
What kind of turkey do you like? Like, are you just like they bake the turkey in the oven and then that's it? And then, or do you like the smoked turkey? Do you like the deep fried turkeys?
If I had to pick one and I got my choice, deep fried for sure. Mm-hmm. But there's not really a turkey out there that I wouldn't eat, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, I only like the dark meat. I don't like the white meat. But when I was at the other company, we had some friends, and this one guy came in and he said, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna deep fry some turkeys," and all of them were different. Like they had different rubs and flavoring on them. The Cajun one that he made was phenomenal, and then he had one that was like a honey butter sriracha. Oh boy, it was fucking delicious, man.
Delicious.
And I miss it. I don't miss that company that I used to work for. Everyone that I worked for was scumbag there. But what I do miss is that turkey. I would eat that turkey all the time.
Yeah.
Oh man, I do love turkey. If you smoke it, if you deep fry it, I'll eat it all day, every day. All day, every day. So.
Yep, I'm in. But I'm pumped for it. So 2 days away, I'm gonna make a feast, so I'm ready for sure.
Do you do the whole family, or do you go to 2 different Thanksgivings, or how does that work?
Yeah, so it is weird because my parents are divorced, so usually to avoid having to pick one or the other, I just go out of town to my wife's parents' house where I can just tell both of my parents, sorry, I'm out of town, because it does get a little weird when you got divorced parents and they're both trying to get you over for Thanksgiving. But this year my dad didn't even ask, and my mom did, so I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Oh, now you can tell your dad, Dad, why are you being a scumbag? You didn't even invite me to Thanksgiving dinner?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, the Christmas gift better be on fucking point.
Yep.
You didn't even invite me over for Thanksgiving.
Yep, exactly. And see, my wife goes to my wife goes usually Thanksgiving Black Friday shopping, so that's why she's in Vegas, obviously, and so I don't get to go down as much Thanksgiving in the States. So I'm looking forward to the day Cooper's old enough to where it's way easier to travel with him, and then we can go down and have some U.S. Thanksgiving dinner, because I do get 2 Thanksgivings because I get the Canadian one as well, and so life is good. Life is good up here in Canada,
Yeah,
and
sounds like it.
Hey, would be better is if there was 2 Christmases in Canada.
That would be better.
If Canada did a Christmas, because they do Thanksgiving in October, right? So if they would do a Christmas in November, and I could do Christmas in December with the American, that would be so great. I would love it. 4 months off.
Yeah, you should suggest that.
Well, we could probably make like a official beer league Christmas and do it whenever we want. Like we could be like, you know what, we want to do it in March. So everyone celebrate. Put up your Christmas lights, your beer league Christmas lights, and let's get busy.
Yeah, I like it.
But yeah. So all right. Well, let's talk about the 10 Commandments of hockey.
All right, let's do it.
Get a chance to read this blog I wrote. If you didn't, that's okay. I'll read you the blogs, and we'll talk about which one you think is probably the best commandment that was made.
Yeah, I did see it today because I was in the doctor's office being tested for strep throat, but I just didn't have enough time to read it, so you're going to have to read it to me.
But do you have strep throat?
I do.
Oh,
I currently have strep throat.
Boy, you know what? I'm probably going to get it now because it's highly contagious. I know we're
on the phone together.
We're on the phone, and I could literally, whenever someone tells me I have strep throat, I always get strep throat. It's insane. I think it's obviously psychological, but hey, I got a mind that does things, right? So thanks a lot for telling me that. I'll have to try to take care of myself, and
Yeah, just try to get it after Thanksgiving. You don't want to have it while you're eating your beef.
Well, like when I'm with like my kid, I'm the only one here. Like it's hard to be sick, right? Like with my wife's here. Then I can play it up and get a bunch of sympathy, like, oh, I'm so sick. Oh, can you take care of me? But when she's not here, I'm on my own. I gotta, toughen up. So
yeah. Well, let's hope you don't get it.
Hey, speaking of it, old Jeff Peck. So he got COVID last year, like a day before Thanksgiving, and he lost his taste. He said it was the worst thing ever. He said he felt like he had COVID, so he had like a cold, like he was sick that way. But he said it was far worse because he lost his taste at Thanksgiving. Couldn't taste any of the food.
That sounds fucking awful.
It's insane,
it really
right?
does.
Like what the worst time? Like if there was like a worst time to get COVID, it would be right in Thanksgiving when you lose your taste and smell. Asinine. But he can taste, so hopefully he'll eat double this year. All right, here we go. First commandment: honor thy GM above all else. Right? That's pretty easy.
Yeah,
they've done.
Yeah, I can dig that.
Yeah, they do everything for your team. So let's go. Thou shalt pay their hockey fees on time. That's a good
also
one.
Important, and I think that that kind of ties into number 10, right? Like,
yeah,
your GM probably spotted it, so fucking pay on time.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of what, you were at the doctor getting tested for strep throat. Was it the same doctor that checked out your hand, or is this a new doctor?
No, I just went to an urgent clinic thing,
gotcha.
but I did have to fill out some paperwork, and on the paperwork I was filling out, it was like, who do you want your medical records released to? I almost wrote in Frank's name just so I could take a picture of it.
Oh, that would have been outstanding.
And post it, but yeah, I thought it was funny, but I was just too sick to actually go through with the whole ordeal.
Yeah, is that why you didn't text me back last night? Because you were sick?
It was. Well, I was asleep. I went to bed at like 7:00 last night because I wasn't feeling well.
Gotcha. Okay. I can dig that. Number 3, thou shalt respect the referees.
That's a big one for me. Like the only people I ever hate on my team are the ones that yell at referees after a call, even if it's the wrong call. Like it's 11:00 at night on a Tuesday, Jim. Like let it fucking go and let's keep playing.
Exactly. But you know what? Hey, here's what I've found. Throughout all my travels, throughout all my hockeying around the world, referees that are playing on your team are the worst people to the referees that are officiating the game.
100%.
Without a doubt. It blows, like they always say, hey, no one will respect us. No one will respect us. But then they treat referees like trash. And then we're looking at them like, weren't you just on about referees not being respected? Like this is like, he's a referee, you're a referee, and you're treating him like trash. And he's, oh, well, I can do it because I'm a referee. And it's like, get fucked, bud.
Yeah, 100% back.
Thou shalt not forget beer on thy beer day.
I mean, I don't even think we need to comment on that one, right? Like,
no.
That goes without saying.
Number 5, thou shalt not leave with the beer cooler while thy team still desires to imbibe. So don't leave the locker room. If it's your beer day, you brought the ice chest, you can't just wheel out of the fucking room when everyone's still drinking. That's not cool.
Nope. You got to be the last one there.
And then tying in with the beer, so very beer heavy. Thou shalt not covet thy teammate's beer.
Yeah.
That says,
again, I think that one.
Yeah, the best teammates share their gifts with. Yeah. So you just, thou shalt not mooch. Thou shalt shift change with thy line mates. Thou shalt not bell on game day. And lastly, thou shalt not take a dump in thy team's dressing room before a game.
I mean, all of those are 100%. As someone who's relatively new to the hockey game, I mean, I've been playing for like 7 years now, but still considered new to hockey. I feel like every one of those is, I agree with. They're easily to abide by, and everyone should just do those things or not do those things.
But you know what you should do? You shouldn't take a dump in your team's dressing room. What about
the other team,
opposing team's dressing room?
Yeah, for sure. If you can, especially if you can get in there before they, like if you came early, and no one else is in there, go drop one. Get them shaking on their game a little bit before they even hit the ice.
Yeah. So let me tell you a little story about shitting in another team's dressing room. Have I done it? Yep.
All right.
I've probably broken commandment number 3, respecting the referees, because I've also shit in the referee's room. But one summer we were having our playoffs. It was August. We met a little early in the parking lot to have a few pregame beers. Just it's playoffs. You got to get loose.
Right.
We all walk into the dressing room. We're just fucking bullshitting, just and drinking beers, having a good time. All of a sudden, the toilet flushes, and we're like, all right, that's weird. I thought we were the only 4, 5 in here. And the door opens to the toilet. Out walks a guy with a backpack and a motorcycle helmet. He's got the thing down. Can't even see his face. And he just walks out of the bathroom area and walks through our locker room right out our door without saying a word. And we're just like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? Like, I mean, I get it. You got to shit, but literally there's a bathroom down the hall that's public. Like, that's the weirdest thing ever. And like, we had been in there for like 10 minutes just bullshitting. This old boy's just fucking dumping, right? And line up for the face-off. I go down, and he goes, "Hey, did you guys like that gift I left you?" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, that was me." So the dude that shit in our dressing room with the motorcycle helmet just walked out like nothing happened. Dude on the other team, and he said he was fucking playing mind games with us.
That's pretty epic. If I'm to speak for him.
And guess what? It worked because they won and beat us out of the playoffs.
So the message there is, if you got a playoff game, you got to shit in the other team's locker room.
I mean, obviously, like 4 or 5 of us in the parking lot boozing it up, a couple hours before the game. That might have something to do with it too. But yeah, it's probably the pooper. It's definitely probably the pooper.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's any commandments we left off there, you think?
I feel like those 10 cover like the really, really important shit, like the mooch. That's you could elaborate a little bit more on that, but that's probably talking about clear tape, right? Like everyone's mooching or stick tape, but yeah. I think clear gets mooched a little bit more.
Yeah. I should probably get with some goalies and make a 10 commandments of goalie, because I think there's a lot of like the thou shalt not bell on game day. Sure. But thou shalt show up on time as a goalie. Like as a team GM, like it freaks me out whenever we got like 15 or 20 minutes and the goalie's not there and you're just like, what's going on? Like you're calling, you're texting there, and it just, so maybe definitely come like with enough. I mean, as a skater, usually there's enough skaters, you don't have to worry about it, but still it sucks. Like if you have 5 or 6 or 7 players and 2 or 3 guys are late, you're just like, fuck, like you just get here on time. Like what's the big deal? We were playing 10:30, 11 o'clock games. Like how are you late? Like what else are you doing that late at night that you can't get to the game with the boys on time,
Yeah. No, I'm always super early, even though I'm a quick dresser. Like I'm always the last one to start getting dressed, but I just like being at the rink early so that I can take my time. So I agree with that one. And I think if you want to add one speaking for the goalies, there's one you could do. It's like, thou shalt not piss off the goalie in warm up. You know, no clap bombs, no headshots. You know, don't try to pick corners when he first gets out there. Just hit the pads, those sorts of things. I know, being friends with a goalie, I learned pretty quickly on the things you should and shouldn't do in warm up to get your goalie going.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, hey, go check out that blog. Let us know if we missed some commandments. You can check it out, blpa.com/blogs. We got a lot of good blogs actually on there. There's like today I just released one that was the top 5 ugliest helmets. Basically, we want you to look fly on the ice, and if you're wearing these helmets, you're not looking fly. Top beer league jerseys. We had 6 stages of beer league. There, just a lot of beer league content. So go check out blpa.com. I have a question for you from a listener, Jason.
All right.
The question is, what's the deal with smelling salts on the bench?
That was directed specifically to me?
No, just in general. But it's
Okay.
It's Michael Robert, so I figured it was directed toward you.
Okay. I like to have a little, those little crunchable things that you can smell, and to me, it just kind of wakes me up, gets my senses going. I don't have to have one or anything, but I have a little thing of them in my bag, and sometimes games are late, or maybe you're on like your third game, you just need like a little pick me up to get going there.
Yeah, for sure. I just like the smell of them. I mean, it's not something that I'm just like, I have to have either, but I like them. They kind of make you feel, you get that little burst of just, all right, I'm ready to go. Right. Nothing big, nothing big. So I don't know why people worry about that stuff, but if you got them, hey, sniff them if you got them. That's what I always say.
Yeah. And I like you said, I think it's just, me, it gives me a little jolt energy, kind of like, all right, game time, let's go.
For sure.
Turn it up.
If you're digging the show, support us. Patreon.com/theblpa.
The most greatest.
All right. I want to talk about another blog that's going to lead into our next topic. But before that, because we did, we were talking about shout out Michael Cosentino and Tatiana/Tina Cosentino and the Cosentino kids for supporting our Patreon. But we also have another new Patreon. Mr. Matt Miller, thanks for making dreams possible. I'll let you guys know what we're doing with our Patreon. We found a couple needy beer leaguers that just hard up in the holidays, and so we're helping them out. One beer leaguer, they just had twins premature, and his wife was already on bed rest, and now he's having to take some time off work because of this. They weren't prepared for the twins as much as they'd like to be. And they also have a 3-year-old, so they're struggling, worried about how they're going to make do with their limited incomes now that they're both off taking care of these babies. So we're using things like Patreon to help these guys out, give them a beer league holidays, very happy beer league holidays. So we'll be getting some stuff and sending some stuff that way. So super stoked to be doing that. So just so you guys know, if you guys support our Patreon, we definitely do good things with it. So patreon.com/theblpa. And Matt Miller, thank you very much for your support. You come in, you came in at the tier where they were going to give you a mouth hug, but I didn't have time to write a limerick for you. But next time I'll give you a mouth hug, or Jason, maybe both of us. Maybe we'll tag team you on the mouth hug. Who knows? That
sounds like a good time.
I mean, you know what a mouth hug is, right? I mean, basically we use our mouths to make these people feel good for supporting us.
Yeah.
So hugs feel good. So I'll just
mouth hug.
Yep, yeah. Mouth hug. There you go. So we did release a top jerseys blog. It's really cool, and we've had a couple of notable jersey releases in the last few days. First one, Team Canada. Have you seen the Team Canada jerseys for the Olympics?
Yeah, I dig them.
Yeah, you know what? It's weird because it doesn't look like a traditional maple leaf on the front of it, but whatever. It still looks cool. And people were talking about the black one. I actually dig the red one.
Yeah, I like the red one the most, and the black one would be my second.
And the last one's white. They can just get rid of that. Just go white and go red and go black. That's the way to do it. But the other one is not one I dig at all. As a matter of fact, the New Jersey Devils just released I guess this is their third alternate jersey. It's stupid. Quite frankly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And now, like, it says Jersey on the front of it. It says Jersey on the front of their jersey. So it's the it's the New Jersey Devils jersey. But everyone's chirping them, right? Like, oh, put helmet on the helmet or put stick on the stick. And the New Jersey Devils today, they sent out a tweet that says coming next. And it's literally a hat that says hat in cursive.
With the word hat.
Yeah, they just tweeted it. And so at least they're having fun with it. But how do you, like, that's it. Like, I'm going to have to say, like, I've got at least some authority on jerseys. Like, we create so many of them. So we got a good pulse on jerseys, and those just aren't good jerseys. Like, how does that sneak by? Where they just like, that's good enough. Looks good, jersey, cool.
Yeah, I feel like the NHL has been lacking on jerseys for a while now. Don't get me wrong, they have a few that they've absolutely gotten right, but there's been a lot of misses as well. And it's crazy because you can get on Twitter and just follow hockey Twitter and find these guys that do designs that are just absolutely killer. That would be killer third jerseys. I even saw one where they kind of took the jersey, they took the new jerseys, one that they just came out with, and just did a few little tweaks here and there and made it look 1,000 times better. Like, still not the best jersey you could have come up with, but way better than what you did actually come up with. So yeah, it's just crazy to me that a company as big as the NHL has just been so terrible in the jersey department in general.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's the problem. Everyone wants to stick to like traditional jerseys, and they want them to be clean and minimalistic. And I don't like that. Like, we have the technology now that, back then what they did is they fucking had a sweater and they just sewed a logo on the front of it because that's all they could do. That's all they could afford. But now we have the technology and, the ability to make some pretty badass stuff. So why wouldn't we use that to our advantage? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I will say the Calgary Flames Blasty jersey, badass, because I just love Blasty because it's so different. It's not traditional. Like, it's a fucking horse head with flames shooting out of its nostrils. It's just, it's crazy. I want to see that more. I want to see it more in NHL jerseys, but I don't think that we're going to, because they, we got to be traditional. We got to be like, I was quite surprised when Dallas came out with that neon green and black jersey get up. Cause I was like, okay, I like the color scheme. I don't like the plain logo, but I like the color scheme. At least you're trying to be out there. But like New Jersey just looks like, here we go. Here we go. As a matter of fact,
yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, it also looks like jerseys you would see at like a middle school, because as you said, while we have the technology to make these cool, awesome jerseys, generally for like a smaller school, they don't have the funds to make something, crazy and out there. So it ends up looking just like the New Jersey's jersey, because it is, just simple and plain. And basically, the school was trying to save money. But that's what it reminds me of, is like a middle school team's jersey.
Yeah, I mean, and you look at, like, if you go back and look at even look at the WHA, like they had some pretty wild logos. Well, why can't we get crazy with the logos? Like, why do we got to just be boring? Like, let's not be boring. Like, listen, I'm not going to the rinks anymore because of COVID. And I probably won't go back when COVID's not around. You know why? Because the NHL, gets millions of dollars for a TV deal, and my TV is nice, and I can sit here and watch the game be close up. Like, let's see some exciting colors and some, it seems like I was actually just doing a logo for BLPA. I was trying to change this logo into like NHL team colors, so BLPAers could rep not only the BLPA, but also their team. And it's like, how many teams are just red, white, and blue?
Yeah.
It's just like boring. Like, let's think of something else. Like when the Coyotes brought that Kachina and they had like purple and green and gold, and that's what I'm talking about right there. Let's get that going. Like the Quebec Nordiques with like that powder blue. Ooh, yeah, bud. That's what I want. That's what I want. Let's get crazy. You know what? How about this? How about you let our draft experience team, how about you let us design some of the NHL jerseys and let them wear them for a few games? people would be like, oh, those are badass jerseys. We got to buy them. Because you know what? That's what they do for our tournaments right now.
Yeah.
You know? So that's just my 2 cents. But that's, what am I going to do? I got other things to worry about, like writing scripts for my Rocky movies. So.
And finding out if your cousin is in Iceland or not.
I'm going to tell you, I'm not. So, ladies, for science, ladies, I'm not related to anyone in Iceland. So when I come to Iceland, we're not related, basically.
Just so you know. Yeah.
For science. So basically that's it. Other than that, I mean, you got anything else to talk about? I mean, I guess we didn't even talk about LA. I'm super stoked about LA coming up here in just a couple weeks. I'm going to leave my wife for a couple days to go to LA, but I'm doing it for the sole, like it's my duty. It's my lot in life. Yeah. It's what I do. So, going to be there December 10th through 12th. There's a couple spots left. There's the 1 spot left in Iceland. We have like 3, maybe 4 spots left in Philly. And then I don't even know what's after Philly. I don't know what we have in, February we have Tampa. We got to start getting some registrations in Tampa. Get that bad boy going. And then March is where we got Omaha, we got Boston. I need everyone to come to Boston. That's my favorite city. I'll show you the town. Lobster rolls.
I'll be there.
Lobster.
I'll be there.
All right. Well, anything else to add here, my friend?
I don't think so, man.
Yeah, me neither. Well, I hope you get better from strep throat. I'm glad, I wish you would have told me up front so I could have played it up that, for our fans, for our listeners, even strep throat's not going to keep us from recording. We said we're going to record every week. And that's what we're doing now. So I hope you get better.
That's right. I battle through it.
You have to. That's all. Hey, we're nothing if not battlers,
That's it.
So, all right, friends, thank you guys for listening. Thanks for being here. Go follow us, the BLPA. You can follow me, Nicker Jones on Twitter, the Nicker Jones on Instagram, Beer League Jason on Twitter for Jason. And hey, tweet us, interact with us. We like talking to people. We're bored. My wife's not here. I got nothing to do in the evening. So why don't you tweet me? All right. So other than that, guys, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. Be good or be good at it.